So we're going to get started with the pH test. But we know that every time we come to a section, we have to follow our yellow flag, and it tells us what zone we are. So we know we're in zone D right now. Could you write that down on our lab paper?
Sure.
And it's right at the section here. I'm going to have you write the things down, and then together we'll go through it afterwards. Okay. So where we're going to start today is we're going to show everybody how to actually utilize the pH test and the steps that are involved.
Should we clear off the leaf litter first?
Of course. Let's clear off the leaf litter. So now we have an area to test. I'm going to set my lab manual right here so that we can follow the steps step by step. So our first step, step 1, tells us to pick up the test tube. And it says fill the test tube with up to line 4 with pH indicator and squeeze the bottle gently to control the amount dispensed.
How far are we going to fill this up again?
To line 4, which we need to look at it at eye level. And we're looking for what we call the smiley face, or the official term is
meniscus.
Exactly. Excellent.
We close?
We are there.
Okay. Don't press the bottle too hard so you don't overflow the line. It's hard to pour back in.
Okay, next we're going to step 2, and it tells us to use a 0.5 gram spoon to add 3 measures of the soil sample. But before we do that, what color do we notice this is?
Let's hold up a white background.
It's blue. So in the recording observation section on your other one, could you write down that it is blue?
Okay. Solution is blue.
Step 2 now tells us to grab our spoon, which we know is 0.5. So we only need to use it 3 different times. So go ahead and scoop 3 spoons.
It doesn't have to be perfect, but if you have to, you can take some soil off the top before you scoop it in. Don't press too hard or it won't come out of the scoop. That's good.
Excellent.
Doesn't have to be perfect.
Now, before we go to the next step, let's observe what we notice. If you put, again, the white piece of paper behind it, all we notice is that the dirt is where?
At the bottom.
And do you notice that there's a little bit of bubbling occurring, or a few of the specks going up?
A little bit.
Excellent. Well, our next one is to go to step 3. While you record that in our step 2, I'm moving on to step 3 and reading the directions again. And in this one, it says, add the cap and mix gently for 1 minute. Thank you. I'll put the cap on the top.
Let me get my stopwatch ready. It's set to 0. Ready, set, go.
And I'm going to gently just shake for 1 minute. Notice I'm not doing this very hard or very fast, just gently shaking it so that the soil is mixing with the pH solution.
Yeah, it's like you're tilting it back and forth.
Exactly.
Like a seesaw.
Like a seesaw, perfect. So when we get after our minute, we might want to record that it's muddy. And
okay,
that
stop.
We have done it for exactly a minute.
And you can press reset on the stopwatch.
So
I'll write down our observations.
Perfect. And I'm going to read what step 4 tells us to do. Step 4 says, allow the tube to stand for 10 minutes to let the soil settle. So it might be easy to kind of put it in the ground and set our timer for 10 minutes.
Okay, start the stopwatch for 10 minutes.
And we're going to let it sit there. As that is happening, we can wait after the 10 minutes to record the observation. And while we're waiting, we can take out our card so we make sure, and also in our lab manual, it's in there as well, so that we have the colors that we're needing to look at. And we could take some time and record and observe what's going around our area, like how the plants are, what do we notice about the trees, so that we could use that scientific observation for our future reference to giving some ideas about what we think is happening right here at Stan Hywet. Remember at step 4, we allowed it to sit for at least 10 minutes. Notice that everything is settled at the bottom and we have color to look at the top.
I'll write down those observations.
Excellent. On step 5, we take out the card, or for example, we have one on our lab sheet if we need it. And now we're going to look to see which color does it look closest to. What would you suggest?
I see some green and some blue.
And to me, it looks like it's between 5 and 6, actually.
Let's move over to this card.
Closer to 5, don't you think?
Yeah, it looks a little bit more greenish, a little aqua blue maybe.
So you could record on your observation the actual number and circle it on the card in your lab manual.
Okay, so we'll record that information and circle where we think the number is.
Excellent. Thank you so much.